Aloha cupcakes. So October's over, and we managed to survive this. I filmed a video, and I posted a video every day, and some of them were good. Most of them probably not so much, but that was the mission. The idea was for me to start posting more content so that I would learn from everything that I was doing wrong and hopefully start to adapt and do things correctly, or at least tolerably by my standards, which are very low. But the thing was that I wanted to do it. Somewhere during the course of this month, I finally have just decided that I think I would like to film things. Like things. Like, I don't know that I want to necessarily shoot like a full-length movie, but I would like to have, if you were to Google search me to see something that pops up on IMDb. To assist with that, and, if you've been around for this whole month, you've seen my frustrations with this. But as of today, we have a speed booster, we have a helios lens, and we have the Blackmagic OG. That's you. I personally wanted this thing because I think that the image is pretty amazing. The combination of the helios lens with the Blackmagic OG is something that I thought was worth pursuing so that I could try it for myself, so that I could work with it to see what kind of things I can get such a tiny little camera to do. And then when I had figured out all of the things that I need to figure out about it, which today we had a lesson in exposure, even with an ND filter, and the ISO just dropped as far as we could push it, and the white balance just in wherever it was it needed to be still was not enough for me to just shoot straight sunlight. So I have some learning to do. I probably need to get something else to make that work differently, and I need to reconsider how I'm going to use this one to shoot, because it's not going to shoot the way that the action cameras shoot. The DJI Pocket One, I think, okay, DJI Pocket, the little tiny nuggety camera that I carry around is infinitely better for what I was trying to shoot today, but doesn't produce an image like this. So I get to try to figure that out, because ideally what's going to happen eventually, and what I would like to be able to do, is take everything that you are doing right now and move that to you. So you're the Lumix S1 now, and I have a follow focus on here, which has a control, which is really awesome, right? And then I'm able to use my phone for my monitor, which eventually I will have a remote monitor. I like the idea that I can take this away from the camera and look at things while I'm looking at different angles. I like the idea that I can post this in front of me, see what this camera is seeing, and potentially be able to walk away from the camera and sit down somewhere and look at it and really kind of take in how it's shooting, as opposed to me trying to stare through the goofy little screen on the back of it that honestly is completely covered in all the control information, and it's all stuff that is necessary for the camera to operate. But I like the idea of being able to step away from the camera and just think about things while I'm looking at the screen. It's just something I can do, especially if I could just set it down somewhere. Like right now it's on a little mount thing, but the idea of taking what you do over here on the Blackmagic OG, that craziness that's going on over there, and all of that density with it, and like that raw DNG video that's absolutely just killing SD cards, and take that and put that into a format such as this. And yes, I'm aware there are other Blackmagic cameras that I could be working with. They're big. The OG's itty bitty. It's a tiny little thing. Even my Lumix S1, that's the biggest of all Lumix cameras. And once it's all rigged out, I mean, I've got a battery hanging off the side of it. I've got this cage. There's the microphone, the little focusy motor thing, and then it's got these Manfrotto plate thing that sticks to the giant tripod head and all that. Yes, I know it's a lot. And yes, I know that the Blackmagic's not going to be the thing. And I know that there are other compact cameras like the Sigma FP that I could be using to do this. It knocks out most of the checkbox for the things that I want, but I am still learning what I want the imagery to look like. I am still learning what form factors I want to work with. So ideally, I will eventually just sort myself out and just accidentally come up on like 40, 50 grand and get a really badass camera. Until then, I have to make do with what I have, and the things that I have are just fun to play with, and I'm thoroughly just enjoying the experimentation. Not the frustration I have between ordering parts, mind you. That's been a fun one. Even this month I got to start brand new, because the Blackmagic OG, you are what, 12 years old, 10 years old, and parts don't exist. Like if I need new batteries, I'm getting old batteries or refurbished batteries, or in the case that you are right now, I'm just hoping that you survive this shoot. Like I have a power supply, I can put in an NPF battery and run, juice to it and all that other stuff. I like the idea of just a camera and a lens. I think that is amazing. I think it's astonishing, and I may find something else where I can work with a longer record time so that I can do this a better way. But for right now, I wanted to work with the original. And I know that that's not... It's kind of like when I started pinstriping. Did you know that I'm a pinstriper? Well, I am. And I started out doing that with a number 1 gauge. I don't even think it was an Excalibur. I think it was like the little Mac Blue Wrap. And it was the only brush I could find. It's the only brush I knew existed. I Googled pinstriping brush, and that's what I came up with. And turned out it was the old school. It's the thing that a lot of people, like some people still use it, but they use way smaller versions of it. And there's a bunch of modifications that people have made to make them thinner, more flexible, whatever. I was just going hard with the old stuff. And I started with that. And I also adapted quickly, and I have not used that brush. I used one earlier this year to prove a point while I was doing brush reviews, but other than that, I started in 2011 when I started during car shows, and I think I started a couple of years before that, but I think my first car show might be the last time that I used that brush for anything other than to say, hey, look, I have this brush. So I have a very weird history with doing things the hard way first. And it's not because I can't find a better way of doing things, it's that I want to find a more efficient and more effective way of doing things. It's just one of the weirder ways of how I learn, aside from just overtly studying any and every detail about all things all at once, because I do that too. So this month I learned all of that. I found a new thing to play with. And now that we're in the month of November, and now that I have both cameras operational, I'm going to start working a little bit more with dual angle shots for things. And I know that over here, we're working with something that shoots in 6K, and I have all of that. And then over here, we're at 1080p, which is itty bitty version. So I'm going to have to learn how to match those. And then I think that all the other cameras that I have are in between are like 4K. It's just the 360 camera is... It's like 5.8K, and then I have to like squeeze it down until it fits into 4K or 1080p, depending on where I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to keep working. We're probably going to have snow pretty soon, so I'm going to be able to shoot some other kinds of things, but I do think I enjoy doing this. I think this has been a lot more fun now that I had a mission and that I had a reason to complete it, and I think this is something that, I don't know, I may suck at it. Probably going to suck at it for a while. This is going to be awful. Those of you who are watching regularly, sorry, it's not getting better yet. And those of you who are watching this video for the first time going, what is this guy talking about? Also, sorry, it's not getting better yet. I'm going to keep doing this. And thank you all for sticking around for all of it. And thanks for putting up with my inabilities and the things that I had to learn the hard way. And until my next video, stay moist, my friends.